In 2004, we thought Dave Chappelle was just a comedian, a master of the absurd. But 20 years later, as the lights go out on some of Hollywood's biggest moguls, we're realizing Dave wasn't just writing skits, he was filing reports. Take his legendary Making the Band sketch. Dave played Sean Puffy Combs as a tyrant who made his artist walk across a bridge just to get him a sugar cookie. We laughed because it seemed like a reach. But look at the mechanics he was showing us. Total submission. A culture where human dignity is traded for the brand. Dave was showing us a system of control that the FBI wouldn't acknowledge for another 2 decades.
We be bad boy artists here, but if you want to do it, first y'all gotta walk to Queens and get me a sugar cookie.
We laughed because it seemed like a reach. But look at the mechanics he was showing us.
A sugar cookie, man? Look, this is not what I got in the music business to be doing, to be a sugar cookie getter, you know, I'm a rapper.
A culture where human dignity is traded for the brand. Dave was showing us a system of control that the FBI wouldn't acknowledge for another 2 decades.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
While the world was busy quoting his punchlines, Dave was looking at the exit sign. He knew the winner's circle had a price, and he was the only one unwilling to pay it. Years later, sitting with Joe Rogan, Dave dropped the character. He described the winner's circle, a place where the hospitality is so perfect it feels like heaven. But Dave realized that in Hollywood, expert accommodation is just another word for total surveillance. He saw the velvet rope for what it really was, a leash.
So first of all, man, congratulations. You're the first guy to beat the system. You're the first guy to get fucked over by the system, go public with it, and then get your money. I've never heard it happen before. I don't think it's ever happened before.
Bro, I still can't wrap my mind around it.
He talked about Martin Lawrence. The media called Martin crazy when he ran into traffic, but Dave saw a man who had hit a wall built by a system that requires you to be a balloon animal, twisted into whatever shape the industry needs you to be that day. If you don't twist, you break.
The media gonna say that I was out in the street yelling stuff. Did they say that on that tape? So I go out in the street and shit, and I'm walking down the street and I wait for a light. I go to cross the street, you know, catch the light, and next thing you know, you got ambulance, firemen, policemen, all of them out there jumping on me. They got guns and all that, all because I try to run across the street and catch the light, y'all. And I went out in the street and I was walking, and something said, run real fast right now. I start singing, how come I feel like somebody's watching me? And next thing you know, my jacket hit my arm hit my jacket, and my jacket flew open, and they gonna say that I had a gun on me. Okay, no, I did have a gun. Yeah, now that I remember the story, I did have that.
Because I feel like this is about fame in general. And then I see you go through similar shit. It's like they blow you up like a balloon and twisting all these wild shapes like a balloon animal.
Yeah.
It's once you're in that thing, they can control the perception of it. So why fuck with it?
Gaslighting.
Yeah.
They gaslight people.
In 2005, Dave walked away from $50 million. The industry tried to gaslight the entire world into thinking he was insane. They said he was on drugs. They said he had lost it in Africa. But in 2008, sitting across from James Lipton, Dave finally called it by its real name: the sickness.
Like, oh my God, Martin, are you okay? So let me ask you this. What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun, screaming, they are trying to kill me?
Yeah.
What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take clothes off on TRL? So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. These people are not crazy, they're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
This wasn't an industry rumor. In May 1996, the world watched as one of the biggest stars on the planet was found in the middle of a Los Angeles intersection, screaming that they were trying to kill him. The media used this footage to bury his reputation, but Dave saw a man who simply refused to be twisted into a shape he didn't recognize. Dave told Rogan that the only thing sick about his decision was that it was against his incentive. He saw the Diddys and the Weinsteins long before the lawsuits. He saw the dark real world and realized that $50 million wasn't a reward. It was hush money. He chose his soul over their circle.
I can forgive somebody for playing an incentive. It's disappointing. But what was so remarkable when I walked away from the show, right, is that it was against incentive. So people couldn't understand it at the time. It was so much money. How could you do that? And blah, blah, blah. But if I had taken that money and finished the show, I would have got the money, but I might never have been the same. I had thought that I ruined my career.
You know, I'm so excited about several ideas here tonight, one of which is leaving the show. You know this because there is an historical video and print documentary of you going from outlet to outlet to outlet to outlet, answering the question, what? What's the matter with you? You left a huge, what is the deal? They would fill in the blanks for you because they were so desperate. And the longer I ruminated on this, the better this thing sounded to me, because what bigger, cool, badass thing to do than just say, good night, everybody, and then adios.
I'm very happy that I did what I did, you know, in hindsight. It was a very, very, very formative event, or sequence of events. It wasn't any one part of it. But if I had finished the show feeling the way that I felt, I would never been the same.
Now, look at the headlines today. The raids on Diddy's estates. The FBI units Dave mentioned years ago. The wild shapes are finally being exposed. Dave Chappelle didn't fail. He was a survivor who left the burning building before the roof caved in. He used the alchemy of levity to tell us the truth, and we just laughed.
But you would joke about it.
Well, I mean, you know, the bottom line is no matter what happens to you, you gotta keep going.
You got to keep going.
And bitterness is quite cumbersome.
Yeah, it's bad for you.
Right. So, you know, jokes is a way of shaking that off, or processing something with the alchemy of levity.
Yeah.
It wasn't a court of law. I don't believe I would have got anything.
It's kind of amazing.
In a court of law. I think in a court of public opinion, it was a good time for me to say my piece. And through the years, it wasn't something that I would harp on. I mean, I did interviews and stuff, people would always ask me about it, but it was something I was actually reluctant to talk about. It was a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's hard for other people to relate to this idea that you want more money. You know, you're talking about regular people, and you're saying this thing, even though it is yours. It's hard for people.
Money is, if you look at life, anything in life, through the framework of money, you'll miss most of the picture.
Yeah.
But now we know. He wasn't just telling jokes. He was giving us the map to the exit. And he's still the only one who can't be bought.
And you know, in business, especially at this stage in our careers, you realize through the years, people play incentives. You know what I mean? That if they're incentivized a certain way, that's the way they're going to behave. So what they want is never really surprising. How they get there is where all the surprises are.